Hey, I'm Connor Boyack, author of the Tuttle Twins children's books. You've got a question about what topics we cover in the Tuttle Twins books, and I've got your answer. Okay, so the Tuttle Twins books, the whole premise with all of these books that we write is that we're trying to teach the powerful ideas of a free society that schools are no longer teaching, basically, and many schools are very hostile to and teaching quite opposite ideas. So across all of the different books we have, this is just the children's series, but we've got books for teenagers, we've got books for toddlers as well. We've got a lot of content. We've got curriculum, we've got a game, we've got a cartoon, all kinds of stuff. Basically, what we're trying to teach in these books is the ideas of a free society. Now, what does that mean? Well, fundamentally, we believe that individuals are inherently free, that the government exists to serve us, that we are the creators and the government is the creature, that the power of the creature can never exceed the creators. In other words, we can't have big government that has all these power over us. We should have power over it. We operate through a lens of, I would say, classical liberalism, which to many people sounds like a bad word, a liberal. But classical liberalism is the founding fathers. They considered themselves liberals. The word has been kind of flipped on its head today. Today's liberals are progressives and authoritarians, just trying to coerce other people to do what they want. But the founding fathers were liberals. They were liberals in the true sense, basically meaning they saw themselves as believing in individual rights, natural rights. And so that is the outlook for our books. We very much espouse kind of a more libertarian free market idea or worldview, and those are the ideas that our books are talking about. So, for example, in the first book where we talk about justice and rights, we talk about how, life, liberty, and property are these fundamental. This is not just an American thing. This book is translated in like a dozen languages so far. We spread these ideas all over the world, just as the Constitution of the United States of America has been copied by countless other countries as well. So these ideas are for all of humanity. They're not necessarily just for us here in America. So this book, we talk about natural rights. We talk about free markets and how the world is a better place because when people can freely exchange one with another, we create abundance, we create wealth. So we talk a lot about the free market. We talk a lot about money and inflation, why the Federal Reserve is evil, why central banking is such a bad problem when politicians and bankers can just, snap their fingers and create new money, and it dilutes the value of our money. So we talk a lot about money and financial literacy, what it really means, what it is. We talk in here about the history of money, why we don't use gold anymore, why some people used to use shells and chocolates and all kinds of other things. Man, so many other things. We talk about education, what true education looks like. We talk about individualism versus collectivism, why collectivism is a bad idea, why it always harms the individual when the many get to decide for the few what they have to do. We talk about entrepreneurship, how business is a great thing. Capitalism is the furthest thing from evil. Basically, entrepreneurship is problem solving, right? You're identifying a problem or a need someone has, and you're developing solutions for it. That is a wonderful thing to bless other people's lives and create a better world, to be thinking about how you can create value for others. We talk about the dangers of socialism, why socialism is such a four-letter word from our perspective, why it's such a problem, why individualism is the solution, why letting people keep the fruits of their labors is so important. We talk about, again, education, why learning is so amazing, but more importantly, how we learn, and why government schools are often such a problem in people developing their curiosity and following their interests. So all of these different ideas kind of fall under the appendage of this kind of classical liberal worldview that the government should be small and limited, that it exists to protect us, not to force us to do things, that we should be free to do basically whatever we want as long as we don't harm other people. So we talk in here about the non-aggression principle, about how you should never aggress against someone else. It's okay to defend yourself against an aggressor, but we should have peace and harmony with everyone. We should do unto others, as the golden rule says, what we want them to do unto us. And so all of these ideas are espoused in the books. Now, what's amazing about the books is that each of them focuses on a core idea, but then there's a lot of supplemental ideas. Take, for example, the creature from Jekyll Island. At the end of all of the books, we have this big glossary of terms where we go over all the new terms that we introduced, and then we give you all these discussion questions as well that you and your kids can talk about and discuss together. And then we point you to the activity workbook as well that we provide. All of this is to say that even though this is a book about inflation, there's all kinds of other ideas in here that we present that are in that glossary as well, so that you're getting a big bite out of a big issue, but you're getting a lot of exposure, your children are, to a lot of these different ideas. And so there's a lot of meat packed into these books. Now, some of you may know that we have a cartoon that's out. You can find that on YouTube or download the Angel Studios app. And in the cartoon, we actually do this in the reverse. These books are more meaty. They're more educational and a little bit entertaining. Fun stories that keep things moving along. Kids love them. But the primary purpose is not just to entertain, it's to educate. And so we take a very education-heavy focus with enough story and fun to kind of, grease it and move it along. With the cartoon, we flipped it around where it's primarily just an entertaining, fun kids cartoon, and we sprinkle the ideas in there. But with the books, you're going to be packing a punch. You're going to get a lot of different ideas that your families are going to be able to discuss together. If you're conservative, libertarian, independent, right of center, whatever, right, these books are going to help you talk to your kids about the worldview that you share, but in a way that's actually going to make sense to them and yield some amazing family discussions. Now, if you're on the left of the spectrum, you're a progressive, you're a socialist or whatever, it's never too soon to repent and, come join those of us who believe in individual liberty and do not want to coerce other people through the state. We will accept you warmly and provide you with plenty of good literature to help understand what we believe. But if you want your kids to understand the way the world really works, not the way we want it to work, not the way that, free college and free healthcare and we should all have free everything, and wouldn't the world be nice if, we could force all the billionaires to just, pay for us and we didn't have to work, right? If you want your kids to understand how the world really works and not this like cockamamie dystopian nonsense, get the Tuttle Twins books. This is going to help you help your kids understand all these ideas and talk about entrepreneurship and education and money and capitalism and free markets and property rights and individualism and personal responsibility and all these powerful ideas that make for a well-rounded adult and help kids learn the way the world really works. Hopefully that answers your question about the type of stuff that we talk about in our books. If you have other questions, feel free to reach out to us. We're all over social media, or you can contact our customer service team at info@TuttleTwins.com, and we'll see you soon.